Yo, guys, what's up? What's up? How's it going?
Hey.
How's it going?
I
guys?
decided that I don't want to do this anymore, so see you later.
Yeah, he's like, I'm out. For that reason, I'm out.
Hey, how's it going?
Not too
It's
bad.
me. It's me, Monica.
It's fucking Monica.
How are you all today?
You're a Japanese anime girl, and the name that you went with was Erica.
I said Monica.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Whatever.
Do you even Doki Doki?
He's gonna turn into
son of a bitch.
he's gonna
I
turn
can't
into
imagine.
fucking
I can't
Karen.
imagine any reason why I would Yoki. So.
I don't think you Doki Dokis.
Well, Doki Doki Literature Club actually kind of kicked ass, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
From the guy who streamed my hateful boyfriend.
That's true.
No, well, I mean, Hateful Boyfriend is just a stupid ass game. Doki
Was it
Doki
really
Literature
that bad?
Club. I mean, no, it's hilarious, but it's like, I mean, it's a dating sim with birds. Like, how fucking serious could you take it? But Doki Doki Literature Club is like a psychological thriller. Fucking, it's like super meta and really violent and really depressing. And
I like that you can see.
You're really selling it right now.
Hey, Tony, your camera's off. Do you know that?
yeah, Tony.
I turned it back on.
Well, obviously
okay.
not very good.
Okay. Eric, it's really funny that with this face rig that you're using, that you can see the facial expressions when you're trying to explain like what you're doing. It really looks like your face is moving the way it's supposed to, and it's kind of it's creeping me out.
That's great.
Like,
well,
I can
It's like I am very aroused.
I can see a beard under there.
It's supposed to creep you out.
That's so funny.
All right.
So explain to us why you're using that avatar. Like, what were you doing the other day?
What was I freaking doing? Hold on a second. Let me Hey,
you're back. Oh, look at your shirt.
It's me. Whoa. Oh wow, what the fuck is going on with my shirt? My shirt's not even green, it's blue.
Hey, green screens can be either blue or green, right?
Yeah, true.
Blue screen, green screen.
Well, green screens are green and blue screens are blue.
That's right.
yeah, that's
So you were playing
true.
Doki Doki, is that what that was?
Doki Doki Literature Club.
And hold on a second. Let me turn off this green screen thing. There. Wait, what? No.
He's like, I don't know how to button.
Go away. There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Can you just go back to how you were? This is terrible, and I hate it.
Yeah, no, this is the worst.
It was better the other way.
Well, no. So I was streaming Doki Doki Literature Club, the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
But this last Tuesday, I wasn't streaming that. I was streaming a game called Love Language Japanese, which is a anime dating sim.
I must have missed that one.
It's an anime dating sim that teaches you Japanese. So like you're like taking tests and stuff on your hiragana and katakana knowledge.
I actually thought that was really cool. I actually really liked
That's
that.
neat. Yeah.
It's all right. It's not bad. But as a fun little like star incentive thing, I decided to have Monica from Doki Doki Literature Club like invade my streams when I'm sent stars.
That's pretty funny, dude.
And hey, people seem to enjoy it, so maybe that'll be a staple of my streams. I don't know.
Pagan Lord said they're almost simping for Monica. Erica Monica.
I mean, they may have a little bit, but that's okay.
That's okay.
But that's okay. Let them simp.
So it was
Hey,
pretty
Monica
funny.
can come back for stars.
Well,
Right.
what they were doing was they were mentioning Monica, and I was like, what does that even mean? Because I just had like a Bluetooth piece in, and the phone was over there. I wasn't even looking at it. I was listening, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I heard your voice, and I didn't understand what you were doing, so I had to rewatch it to figure out what was going on.
Nice.
And I found that actually quite hilarious. So, good
Sweet.
job, buddy. Good
Nailed
job.
it.
So, did you finish Doki Doki or?
Oh,
yeah.
he did.
No, I mean, it's not a very long game. It only took me a couple streams.
No, but
So,
there's some fucked up shit that happens in that game. Let me tell you, as someone who's watched the entire thing all the way through, there's some messed up things.
It's a hard game to recommend because like you look at it and it just looks like a regular dating sim, and it starts off as an anime dating sim. Like and it completely lulls you into a false sense of security. Like even if like going into the game, I didn't know much about it other than that it was darker than just an anime sim. Like I knew that it had more to it, but I didn't know what else it had to it. But even knowing that, like going in, by the time the like weird stuff started happening, I'd almost like forgotten what fucking game I was playing. I'm just like kind of getting enveloped in these characters and stuff, and the characters are great, by the way. Hashtag Yuri best waifu, by the way. But no, like the characters are great, and it really lulls you into this false sense of security until shit just goes completely off the deep end. Like,
if you blind played this game without hearing a single thing about it, you would actually think that it's just a dating sim.
But it ends up being, like I said, like a psychological thriller that gets really meta, like fucking with I mean, without, I don't want to like give away too much, but it like gets to a point of like fucking with your like actual in-game files on the computer itself.
I think like, an actual meta-ness, I would compare it to Nier Automata, like in the sense of being meta.
Yeah, I mean, it even goes a step further than that.
I think so. Yeah.
Just like I said, in the fact that it actually affects like the files on your computer, so not in like a malicious way, obviously, but it's like, I mean, it's free on Steam. There's no reason not to try it, other than the fact that it doesn't look like something you would want to try.
I want to say hi real quick to everybody in the stream. Everyone's saying hello to us. How you doing, everybody?
Howdy, y'all.
Kenzie, also, Pagan Lord, James, thank you very much for the 10 stars. I really appreciate that.
Shane has summoned Monica.
Yes.
Shane has summoned Monica.
500 stars. Thank you very much, Shane. I really appreciate that. He's Monica! You have to yell it. Now he's got to figure out how to switch it back.
I was gonna say, here's the problem: is I actually closed Face Rig, so now
he's like, "Oh no, I can't pull it back up." So yeah, that's. I keep telling people about, not like about my stream or anybody's streams, your particular streams, Eric. It's so odd. And there's Monica again.
Yeah. Hey guys.
It's so
Monica
odd.
Here.
And actually, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when he's got the green screen, it fucks with my eye. Look at that.
That's hilarious. Hold on.
So I gotta look down just a little bit.
Let me get my background back on.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I've never seen
green screen. Let's put Monica on the beach. It's a nice.
Oh, there you go.
It's a little bit less creepy than the Northern Lights.
Yeah, it doesn't fuck with my glasses. I never really knew. I had a really good, I thought that there was dating sims, but I really didn't know anything about them until you started fucking around with them.
Well,
so whenever I'm telling people about unique games or something, I'm like, these fucking dating sims. I would not play them. I'd get kind of bored of it. But I mean, experiencing it through you and your voices just cracks me up. It is the funniest thing.
So it's funny because I've never actually played one until like when we started streaming on Twitch. We got Hateful Boyfriend for free on PlayStation Plus 1 month. Yep. And it was just wasn't that the first thing that you ever off the wall game.
Wasn't that the first one?
That wasn't the first game that I streamed, but that was the first dating sim that I streamed or played at all.
And then from there, it just became this thing that.
Well, that's the thing. Like that's why I keep laughing. You guys say it's my thing, but like I did it once 2 years ago on Twitch, and then like over half a year ago, I did it with that "I Love You, Colonel Sanders."
Which was just amazing, by the way.
Yeah, and then a few weeks ago I did Doki Doki Literature Club, but now it's to a point where people seem to like it, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to lean into it, and I'm going to play all the stupid dating sims I can.
Cheska and Ali, they seem to be kind of encouraging you to do more of them.
Oh yeah, a few people seem to be. So you know what? All right, I'm going to keep at it because
like we've mentioned, we're variety streamers, and if people like this, fuck it.
Well, even if you don't, as long as Eric's having a good time, right?
People just like me for my voices. They don't appreciate real me.
Are you winking at us again?
Of course.
That's sexy.
Look at it.
Also looks like you're having a seizure.
It's just twitching. It almost looks like it's your real eyes, but I know your eyes aren't that big. What's up?
It also looks like when it zoomed in, because I'm watching the zoom camera right now, it almost looks like she was constipated trying to push one out real good.
She's definitely constipated.
Sometimes the eye tracking is a little wonky on this thing.
Yeah, I was noticing
like
that.
Sometimes you gotta wink, but it doesn't like close the eye all the way. Like my eye is closed right now, but it still like comes across like this weird half open thing.
Well, with my glasses and the reflection from the light. And also, my eyes are normally I don't know, closed. They're not really as wide and open as yours are. Every time I use that, the eyes are just closed. So I have to go like this, you know, and really kind of bring my eyes open to get them to even squint.
You gotta
just a little bit.
open your eyes.
You gotta open
your eyes. Yeah,
it's helpful sometimes.
I'm
it helps for
totally
seeing.
jealous about.
Stain actually even had a song about it.
Hey, I just realized that's Dave's problem with playing fast-paced games like Doom and stuff. Is his eyes aren't actually open when he plays them.
Yeah,
try playing them with your eyes open, Dave.
I try them open like this. Just take some of those things they use in torture devices and like put your eyes open like this and force yourself to play Doom.
That would be terrible. That'd be absolutely terrible. So, Ghost of Tsushima is coming out very, very soon.
Oh, it looks so fucking good.
You're all very excited.
Eric and I are kind of doing this cool thing with it. We'll both be streaming it, but since there are two different paths you can take, I'll be taking the dishonorable combat path, and he'll be taking the honorable combat path. And we're going to see how. It's
to make terrible decisions.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the honorable samurai.
So the difference is, Dave, dishonorable combat breaks the samurai code, whereas honorable combat is more like traditional samurai. You bow to your opponents and follow all the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Just
bow and stab them while you're bowing. Just
bow and stab them in the dick.
So
bowing and stabbing; those are literally the two staples of being a samurai.
I had to ask a few people. And
basically,
this is probably going to make sense to everybody that knows me. I had to ask a few people if it was like a Dark Souls experience, and evidently it's not.
So it's not completely. Yes, it's going to be challenging, in the fact that it's realistic, and the fact that they want 3 or 4 strikes to kill you,
right? Because
swordplay. They want it to feel real. But it's not going to be over brutal to the point, where enemies are like super overpowering you. Everyone's kind of on an even playing field.
Well, I'm just worried about purchasing it and having the Sekiro effect. Playing it for 2 hours.
I can tell you it's not going to be that brutal.
I'm fucking done.
It's not going to be that brutal. I can tell you that, but it is going to be realistic.
I don't think it's going to be quite Sekiro. I mean, I'm still not 100% convinced that it's going to be like your type of game, so to speak. But it shouldn't be as bad as Sekiro.
No,
I don't think.
I'm a little worried about buying it, so
hold on a second.
because I don't want to spend. I really don't want to spend $60 on something I will never play.
Prepare for Monica in space.
Whoa! Wow, are Tony and Monica in space together?
She gets around. She gets around.
Wow, you made it there quick. That was fast.
That was fast, yeah.
You got
Monica's making rounds, guys.
So
watch out.
I definitely am a little worried about purchasing the game.
I completely understand it, because we know the kinds of games that you play, and like challenging sword play is just not something that you typically delve into.
Right.
And even with me, it's only something that I've recently started getting a little bit more into myself. And I think for me, this is going to be a good middle ground.
Right.
That's why I'm super excited.
Ethan Vose just popped in. He said, like Kingdom Come, one hit and you're done. Unless you point blank everyone with an arrow to the face. Not saying I did that the whole game.
He did that the whole game.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to end up. I'm hoping there's gameplay. I hope there's more gameplay before it comes out, so I can just cancel it and wait until.
Did you watch us play it?
Did you watch that gameplay reveal that they did just a couple weeks ago? It was like a 16-minute video. It really showed pretty in depth.
I don't think I did.
You should, because that actually shows the combat.
That's why I was actually kind of confused when you were asking about the combat, because I'm like, it showed a lot in that video.
Yeah, that's actually why I was a little bit confused
too.
Like
you, I've been engulfed in work. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I hear that. But no, it's like they showed one entire encounter, one entire camp tackled in both
the dishonorable and honorable.
Yeah, both methods of play. Where
we're talking about Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima. It showed it played as the honorable samurai and as the ghost, as they put it, how differently you can tackle certain situations.
It's
almost Metal Gear Solid 5-esque in
it actually kind of feels like that.
just how open it is to like experimentation and stuff like that, of like tackling situations in different ways.
And supposedly you can kind of play as both and like mix and match your experience. Like during the day you can do the honorable stuff, and at night you can choose to do the dishonorable.
So I can just kill everyone,
or you can just choose to do the dishonorable path completely.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, the dishonorable path is like you can use like fucking like firecrackers and shit to distract enemies and like snipe from the back.
Yeah. Basically, like, the dishonorable path is more like being a ninja and assassinating people.
Rape the cows and pillage the women. No.
I mean,
Blazing Saddles. Anybody? Blazing Saddles. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to watch that just to kind of give myself a little example of how absolutely irritated I'm going to be if I find out that it's just Dark Souls Samurai version.
I think you'll be surprised in the fact that this is actually going to be a really fun game and beautiful.
I hope so. Tony, you excited about that game?
I really have no opinion on it. Okay. I haven't seen enough to really be swayed one direction or the other. I'm just kind of, it's one of those games where I'm waiting till it comes out for me to kind of be inspired or just
generally
don't care about it.
Right.
Yeah. Kind of same way with Cyberpunk. Like I'm just kind of waiting until it comes out because I'm looking at it and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean that's the thing about Cyberpunk, is it either wows you or you're kind of just like, whatever.
Right.
I'm more excited about Biomutant.
That actually looks pretty cool.
I'm super excited about that. I'm excited about Grounded, which is coming out on the 28th of this month. I'd have to look. I'm just looking at the sky. That's all I was doing. Grounded is actually going to be on Game Pass. I'm extremely excited about that for some strange reason. I don't know why. Probably because it's right down my alley. Did you guys look at any of that gameplay at all?
I have not seen it.
So you remember Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
The movie? Yeah. So you're just a little tiny thing, and then you just you're just small. You're like in a yard. And it's a survival. It's like a miniature survival game, and it looks absolutely breathtaking. All the graphics. I played it on PC.
You're breathtaking
with D-Will. Thanks, man.
All right, Keanu.
I love you, Keanu. So
hey, mine's not close enough for me to grab, Eric.
You fight
You're
ants.
breathtaking.
You fight ants and like a whole bunch of stuff like that, and it looks really, really fucking cool. So you guys should definitely check it out because it definitely is amazing looking.
Yeah. So like, it's funny, like Tony mentioned, for me, Cyberpunk 2077. I mean, granted, don't get me wrong, I have it pre-ordered. I mean, I even got a little Keanu figure. I'm excited for it, but like, it's not as high up for me hype wise as Ghost of Tsushima. With Ghost of Tsushima, it's not only does the game itself look right up my alley in terms of gameplay and its setting and everything just really intrigues me, but on top of that, it's kind of a case of just like the pedigree of the developers themselves. As kind of weird as that might seem, like Sucker Punch has not put out a game that I don't adore. Like the Sly Cooper games, amazing. Every single Infamous game, I have the platinum trophy for all 4 mainline Infamous games. Plus, I even 100%ed Festival of Blood. I'm the only person who probably played Festival of Blood, but yeah, like I'm just a huge fan of their games in particular. It's like there's certain developers where like no matter what they put out, I'm gonna probably buy it day one. Atlas. You know,
Atlas is the same way for me, which is why I want them to put out another Shin Megami game. I wish they would do it.
Boys.
Yeah, but back to Ghost.
Like with Persona 4. Sorry to interrupt. This is gonna be real quick. With Persona 4 Golden, it's one of those things where like I have it on the Vita. I still play it on the Vita, but when it dropped on Steam, like the logical part of my brain is like, I already have it. I can play it whenever I want. I still need to platinum it on Vita. Why am I buying it again? But the other part of me is like, I want to support Atlas porting more games to PC and porting the games elsewhere, and just I want to support them. So I bought Persona 4 Golden on Steam day one. I don't regret it.
Yeah, I love it, man. I want to show you guys real quick some very, very quick gameplay of Grounded, because I think it's something that everyone should see. You guys see that right there?
Oh, I've seen this game. Yeah, I know this game. It's made by Obsidian, the same developers for the Outer Worlds.
Yep, and it looks fantastic. It really does. I'm just gonna stop it right there. So anyway, it's you couldn't even see it because I had messed it up. I apologize, guys.
Womp.
Womp womp. Every time I do that, I hit the wrong button. Let's see if I can do it this way. Nope, I can't do it that way either. All right, no big deal.
Check out Grounded, cool, Dave.
Yeah, I know. Check out Grounded. And I think it looks a lot of fun. I'm gonna spend a lot of time on it. Yeah.
But yeah, funny. I'm right there with you, Eric. Cyberpunk's obviously my most anticipated game, but it was really hard for me because at one time it was kind of neck and neck between Ghost of Tsushima and Cyberpunk. Right. Like I was like, oh man, I don't really know which one I'm most excited for. But as more Cyberpunk information came out and got leaked and stuff, I was more excited for Cyberpunk. The Ghost of Tsushima still remains my second most hyped up game.
Yeah. I will say I'm more hyped for Cyberpunk now that I've seen that recent gameplay reveal. Now that I got to see more of it in action, I'm starting to
feel it.
On the hype
starting
train
to feel it. Yeah.
I'm so
with every
for
month
some
that
VR
goes by, I'm like, God damn, it's so close.
Yeah, I'm just rooting for some VR support, and I'm not over the moon. I'm excited for all these games coming out, but I'm not as excited as I am for the PlayStation 5.
I agree.
I want to have that. I want to have that here. But I do love the excitement leading up to it.
I'm anxious about that, honestly. I want to make sure I want to make sure we all secure.
I check my emails
consoles
every day, and I check a whole bunch of news every single day.
I have that set to a ring notification on my phone if anything ever happens with it, because I'm that paranoid about it right now.
Yeah. And I'm sure if any one of us gets wind of anything, immediately the rest of us will know.
Yeah. Well, absolutely.
But yeah, no, I agree with that. I'm definitely more excited for the PS5 than anything.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I mean, right now, Ghost of Tsushima is the last big thing that I'm super hyped for before next gen.
Yeah.
I said Cyberpunk, yeah, I'm hyped for it, but that's
you'll probably be
even
more
hyped. even if that gets pushed back until next gen. And by the way, it is awesome that they said that if you get the current gen version, whether you're on PS4 or Xbox One, you automatically get the upgrade when they release
and they're starting to do that. They're starting to do that with a lot of different games.
I agree, and I think it'll be the case that when you have the game in your hands, Eric, you'll be a lot more hyped for it than you are now.
For sure. But I mean,
I would say the last week, you'll just be like, motherfucker, come on, please,
dude. I mean, that last week I think I'll probably be sweating bullets.
Yeah, he's gonna be a mess. I was a mess when Far Cry 5 was coming out.
He was on vacation and he couldn't play it, and I had it in my hands. I was like, Dave, I got it.
Yeah. I mean, drove all the way down to, where did we go? It was,
you were in
Virginia,
DC. Yeah, you were in Virginia or DC.
We went to Jamestown and all that, but we drove all the way down there, 12, 13, 14 hours, whatever. And the first place we stopped was a friggin' GameStop to buy that.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we walked out that door into the next door, had breakfast, and then I slept for a whole day. I was pretty tired. Driving that far wiped me right out. So, but holy shit, yeah, I was over the moon excited, and I remember sending you guys pictures of it.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it's funny because for me, because of the fact that I have such a enormous backlog at this point. When a hyped game is coming up, I almost get more anxious about the fact that it's coming too soon rather than oh, I can't wait to play it. Right now, Ghost of Tsushima, first of all, I mean, I was trying to platinum Persona 5 Royal before it came out.
Which you did. You did.
I did. It didn't seem like I was going to be able to, but my mom actually got sick with COVID-19. Luckily, she's pulling through it. She's doing much better.
Glad to hear that.
It was scary. Absolutely. It was scary for a bit there, but I was actually at her house not long before she was diagnosed. So I had to take a week off of work, and that impromptu vacation gave me enough time to platinum Persona 5 Royal.
Right.
And now I just started Control, and I'm like, I I really want Platinum Control before Ghost of Tsushima comes out.
I am so happy that you're playing Control, dude. You have no clue because that is one of my favorite games.
I need to start that one of these days.
I'm gonna say that game I think is one of like the most fucking low key banger games from last year. Like
absolutely.
I am fucking just like, I had no expectations of that game whatsoever. The only thing I knew about it actually was that Kelly loved it. That was like all I knew about it.
Yeah, it was between that and Death Stranding for my 2 favorite games of the year. And that says a lot because Control was such an underrated game.
It's extremely underrated, yeah.
But it's so abstract that it doesn't really apply to a mass audience of people.
Yeah, so like that's the thing that surprised me is like when I loaded up, I didn't know really what to expect. I knew that it was by the creators of like Max Payne and Alan Wake and stuff. And, you know, I mean, those games are kind of weird, but they're not
this
deep
weird.
End fucking just like total avant-garde abstract shit,
which is absolutely what Control is.
It's out there.
It's out
weird
there,
as hell, and it's beautiful. The story is
telekinetic.
Really
telekinetic.
The story is really interesting, even though I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
You will know by the end, Derek. I will tell you that.
As shit.
Yeah, you'll continue to be confused as shit up until the end of the game, and then you'll be like, oh,
yeah. But like the game's a little.
You were
obtuse,
dead the whole time.
Like
the whole time.
like the shooting mechanics are decent. It's kind of has like the old school games where like there's no regenerating health. You actually have a health bar, and that takes some getting used to when you're like accustomed to modern games.
Let me tell you, there are some the hardest bosses in that game are the optional side bosses, but you need to beat them to platinum the game,
right?
Which I have.
Shit, yeah.
But some of them are the hardest bosses in the game, and let me tell you, with that like no regenerating health bar, it sucks, dude, because some of them are so difficult. There's this one where the floor falls in and his attacks destroy the floor, so you basically have to like
shit.
Yeah, it's
that sounds crazy.
Already the bosses are kind of kicking my ass. The game has a hell of a learning curve to it, but it
really does. It's difficult in some spots.
Even just navigating the building, like there isn't like like a clear waypoint indicator like there is in most
it has a
games.
Metroidvania style map.
Yeah, you kind of have to work your way around the map sort of on your own accord, and it seems really cumbersome at first, but once you kind of get into the flow of the game, it's super satisfying and just really cool.
And that's honestly one of the reasons why I loved streaming that game so much, because it was just such a fun game to play on stream.
Yeah.
And like for people to see my reactions when something crazy happened, and also people to see me fucking rage when I'm trying to beat a damn boss.
Remedy.
Remedy?
Yeah. Like I said, the guys that made Max Payne and Alan Wake.
Yep.
Did they do Quantum Break as well?
Well, I was going to ask how it compares with Quantum Break.
They did. Okay. They did Quantum Break. Quantum Break was their game before.
I did not play much of Quantum Break.
Wasn't that supposed to be like this massive breakthrough?
Yes, but it kind of
breakthrough.
It fell a little flat, like sales wise or whatever. But Quantum Break was like this weird. It was like half game, half TV show, where like the cutscenes in the game were literally like 25-minute like television live action show episodes. I didn't get very far into Quantum Break. I'd say gameplay wise, it's similar.
Yeah,
it's similar enough that it's it's definitely comparable. I'd say it feels more refined than Quantum Break.
I played just enough to get out of the lab. You were in like this lab thing, and it wasn't that much. I promise.
You would probably like Control.
It was like
more
this round room, and there was something in the middle of it, and you had to. I don't even fucking know.
Yeah, like I said, it's comparable to Quantum Break. Like if you absolutely despised Quantum Break, then no, you probably wouldn't like Control.
I didn't despise it. I feel like there was a lot of other things I was interested in at the time.
Right. Yeah, that's the same thing that happened to me with it. Like I started up, I'm like, oh, this game's kind of cool. Oh, hey, look at this game over here.
Let me tell you a story about Control. I liked it so much that I bought it digitally, platinumed it, and then I wanted to collect the Steelbook. They released a very limited edition Steelbook that they only put out a certain amount of. I had to track that damn thing down, and I bought that.
That's
because
awesome.
I actually wanted it. I loved the game so much that I bought it digitally and then bought a physical copy of it.
Go get it. I want to see it.
Hold on. BRB.
That's okay. We'll be right here.
But
I do want to. I have to finish playing The Last of Us, the first one, because I never actually completely finished it. I am struggling a little bit with it. There's a couple things in it that are a little hard, and I think it's because of the weird fighting that it had. And I know a lot of people mention that. Once you get a lot of zombies on you, you're pretty much done. You know, you really got to control them before they get to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it came with postcards of the game, like very cinematic moments. Probably not going to do it justice seeing it like this, but it's really cool. It came with like 4 or 5 of them.
Nice.
Speaking of which, I love the photo mode in that game.
Oh my god! Yeah, this one you'll know because this is a very famous in-game photo.
Yep.
They came with that. They're postcards.
So does the photo mode compare with the Spider-Man photo mode?
Oh, I mean, no.
Because that one's amazing.
Honestly, it's not a very fully featured photo mode, to be honest. It's just kind of like a good enough photo mode, but the game's art style makes up for the lack of features in the photo mode.
The game's art style is so beautiful that it doesn't really have to have a super developed photo mode.
Yeah, like I said, because of how like abstract it is and stuff like that, like literally all I gotta do is just like put the camera at a weird Dutch angle somewhere and
that's kind of cool.
Put a little bit of field of view effect on there, and boom, it's a good
all of
picture.
This has a texture. It's like layered.
It looks burnt.
Oh, that's badass.
I thought it was burnt. I'm like, who burnt your game, dude?
Yeah, and then on the back.
Yeah, no,
that is cool.
But, I like that. I honestly, it's one of the coolest steelbooks I have because it's super unique. And then
why is it textured?
It's layered. It's like it makes a sound.
Yeah, we hear it. That's awesome.
Friction and that stuff. But I'm just curious
on
what
is friction for 500?
What does that have to do with the game, or is it just a design they decided to do?
It's just a design they decided to do. Honestly.
I didn't know if it like meant something more. Like, did she have like a outfit that had, like in Death Stranding, the I can't remember the girl's name, the one that's got that suit. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Fragile.
Fragile.
Yeah. It's been a little while. Yeah. But I didn't know if it was something that had to do with that.
I still haven't beat Death Stranding. Can you believe that?
Are you fucking kidding
me? That's a long-ass
me?
game, though, Eric, so I don't blame you.
Stupid Hideo Kojima fanboy as I am, I still have not beat Death Stranding.
If this screen wasn't so new, I'd throw this at it. Because
I'm mad at myself for that. That's the thing. Like, right now, I'm trying to platinum Control before Ghost of Tsushima comes out, and I probably won't even manage that.
Yeah.
But then Ghost of Tsushima is just going to...
kid, because his kid's still around. So, you gotta wait until they're 18 and...
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, you're gonna have fun with the platinum on Control, though. It's not a hard platinum. The only hard part is the optional side bosses, and once you get through those, the rest of it's a whiz.
Yeah,
a whiz.
A whiz.
A full whiz.
A full whiz.
That's awesome. I one of these days I will try it. I think I got it really cheap somewhere. I can't remember where. Oh, I think it was. Didn't I ask you, Kelly? I was like,
Yeah, you were like, "Oh, should I get Control?" I'm like,
what was it, like 12 or $15 or something like that?
Yeah. You were like, "Oh, should I get Control?" And I'm like, "Why would you not
cheap.
Get Control?"
A couple things. Ethan says, "I think the new consoles will come out in the holiday season. I think they're already planning on it anyway.
Yep.
Despite COVID, hopefully. I never buy them off the bat because they always have glitches. I wait for a year." Wow, I could never do that. Then they have everything fixed and more memory. Jeez, I could never do that.
I mean,
I just buy the new one when the new one comes out.
That is the smart thing to do. I'm not gonna talk down on that methodology, saying like, "Oh, that's stupid. Why would you wait?"
It's so hard.
We don't do that here.
No.
Yeah. Like I mean,
in fact, Carrie goes. I told her about the little short Xbox that's going to be coming out, the digital one, and I was explaining how they both had digital and then they both had CDs, and she's like, "Are you really going to buy 4 consoles this year?" I said, "How deep are your pockets?"
No, I mean, I stagger out my collection. I always pick one to buy at launch. It's usually the PlayStation console that I get at launch.
Yeah.
Except for some reason I got the Wii at launch instead of the PS3, and that don't ask me why the fuck I made that.
Weird,
that's
dude.
weird. Yeah.
That was.
My brother bought a Wii. It was brought it back 2 weeks later.
Actually, it's not that weird. It was
a lot of us got burned with that.
Yeah, it's not that weird. I was 17, 18 years old at the time, and I had to pay for the system by myself with money that I saved, and the Wii was $300 and the PS3 was $600. So I probably would have got the PS3 in hindsight if it was, half the fucking price. But now I'm an adult and I make my own money and I can do what I want.
Yeah, I got savings account.
Half the price, but you got a third of the console.
Yeah.
Maybe not even.
Pretty much. Pretty fucking much.
Dude, I purchased
that was a rough choice.
I did not purchase a PlayStation 3 when it was released. It took me a little while before I got one, and I initially purchased one I still have somewhere. It was one of the very rare ones, backwards compatible ones. I purchased it from a friend of mine, and he needed a wedding ring. He needed to pay for a wedding ring. And I ended up paying way more for that thing than I should have, but I did it because of that reason. So that PlayStation actually has a backstory to it.
Aren't you a fucking nice guy?
My 40 gig fat PS4, PS3, sorry.
Look at this nice guy over here. What a fucking nice guy. Yeah, it was a nice guy.
Oh, here's a funny story about that same wedding. I was the best man at the wedding, and we're standing there on the edge of this beautiful dock, Rippajimus, up north here in Maine.
Quick question: were you the only man there?
No.
You weren't, and you were still the best one.
I was the best man there. I did not know that it was my job to have the rings. So everybody had stood at the edge of this dock while me and this other guy, I didn't have a vehicle up there anyway, and he claimed that he could drive faster, and he did. And they had to stand at the edge of the dock for about an hour waiting for us. Yep. That friend, unfortunately, is no longer with us anymore. Florida got him, so rest in peace, buddy. But anyway, the ring story is pretty funny. It's a pretty funny story.
That is good. Yeah. That is good.
It's all that speeding down there in Florida that everybody likes to do. Every time you go to a stop sign in Florida, everyone is speeding when that thing turns green. Everyone.
Pretty much.
So yeah, dude, you know what I'm talking about. I've never witnessed anything like that before in anywhere, because it was the first time.
Driving down here is terrifying every single day.
It's terrifying. I mean, I've done it, but everything's a race. Everybody's in a fucking hurry down there. It's insane.
Except for the people that don't look at the road at all. Those are honestly the worst ones. Like the
ones that are blindfolded.
The people of speed are at least usually paying attention to the road. It's the other ones you got to watch out for. The ones that are going 10 miles under the limit and just kind of drift in between lanes without using a turn signal.
Dude, for real.
And that is the majority of the drivers here, actually.
Yep.
Usually the ones that are speeding are just trying to get away from all those other idiots.
Yep. I remember being in
it's rough.
I don't want to tell you what I was driving at the time. It was a PT Cruiser. I'm very sorry. So, yeah, but it was a one of those turbo ones and 5-speed. It wasn't horrible. It was just horrible. And I'm sitting there in between this granny mobile station wagon, and there was a Mustang 95 6 style Mustang on this side. And I'm like, all right, no big deal, whatever. Just do your thing. And all of a sudden, that friggin' light turned green, and the granny mobile and the friggin' Mustang just took off so fast. I'm still convinced to this day that the wagon took it. But,
probably did.
Everything's souped up down there and stuck to the ground.
Pretty much.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The craziest thing I saw down there that I found kind of strange down there? We went to the Keys, down in Key West. And the cop cars were Corvettes.
Oh, yeah.
I did not even think that there would ever be a Corvette for a cop car.
You want to know why
especially
that's...
the state troopers and stuff. The state troopers.
You want to know why that's a thing, Dave? Because
the cars are faster down there.
In Florida, there's this place called Mexico, and they like to street race.
Okay.
Mexico is just the name for it.
Oh,
but yeah, no, I mean, even in general, there's, a lot of wealthy people in Florida. Wealthy people get expensive cars,
and then there's also
expensive cars go fast.
A whole bunch of Porsche 911s.
Whole bunch of Porsche.
There's wealthy people, and then there's also Cletus McFarlane.
But yeah, exactly. No, I mean, like on my way to work on a daily basis, like it's a pretty common occurrence for me to see like Nissan GTRs, and like fucking.
Oh yeah, we saw some beautiful cars down there. Things that you don't see in Maine.
And Maseratis and just all kinds of shit. It's crazy, especially like around South Tampa and stuff. It's the kind of cars you see are nuts. Tesla's fucking everywhere. But yeah, exactly, because of the fact. Yeah, I see those from time to time. Lamborghinis.
Yeah. You see it up here and people lose their shit. You know?
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, because of that, the cop cars have to be faster. Like the standard, like the Corvettes are usually like the state troopers, and then just like the standard run of the mill city cop car is usually like a Dodge Charger or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that like, you know, it's not like a, you know, dusty old Crown Vic or something.
I don't
like
know.
That, those is elsewhere.
Those Interceptors that they've been driving around like a few years ago. I mean, those things were twin turbo.
Oh yeah, they're
crazy.
quick. They're quick for sure.
Gone.
But yeah.
Florida, man, fucked up.
Fucking Florida.
It's a whole different country.
That's
Florida, man.
So yeah, obviously this week is kind of a slow week in gaming news.
Yes,
since
we're talking about Florida.
We're just kind of going off the rails, talking about random bullshit. I kind of talked about what games I was playing recently. Tony, what have you been playing lately?
Well, for those of you who have been watching my streams, The Last of Us 2 is pretty much the order of the day right now. And then I played Mortal Shell. Yeah, fuck that game.
Wait. I need to hear more about that. I didn't
see
get
that?
around to playing the beta. I didn't get around to playing the beta, and I didn't watch your stream. No.
Oh fuck, that was funny.
Okay, so Dark Souls is hard for me.
I felt so bad.
And
dude.
Dark Souls is like, it's kind of like your guys' bread and butter. But
never really understood it. And I think playing Mortal Shell for me is like Dave playing Dark Souls.
Yeah.
It is.
I would definitely equate exactly what you're saying, Tony, to like Dave playing Dark Souls. Even I can play Dark Souls for a little while and be okay. Eventually, I'm kind of like, But
I tap into a whole different type of
like triggered.
You want to see an angry fucking bear, man? Whoo! And I'm scared for everybody when it happens. So I just don't. Sekiro
it's funny. Code
was the same
like
way.
That good middle ground for me.
I was sitting right.
That makes sense.
Right here when I was playing Sekiro, and I'm telling you what, I was scared for everybody in this fucking room.
Me and Tony were just plugging away at it.
I stood up.
Dave just raging in the corner.
I put it in the thing, and nope.
So anyway, I do want to hear some of Tony's input on this
please.
game. I'm curious.
Absolutely.
Hey, restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
It's difficult for sure. Just I think it primarily because of the fact that it's because it's a beta right now,
right?
And
right.
There's a lot of very interesting gameplay mechanics that it does pretty well for, again, being a beta, but it's just marred by terrible enemy hitboxes. B, the fact that it's kind of like that Dark Souls 2 syndrome where it's artificially hard.
Okay.
Almost like God Eater.
It's hard to be hard. And the enemies will just destroy you just like that. And
I was noticing that. I also was watching the gameplay, and I did notice that the hitboxes for combat were just god awful.
They're either right on the money about 10% of the time, or they're just completely way off base. So yeah,
either they're Dark Souls PvE tight, or they're Dark Souls PvP bullshit.
Yep. Oh god, yeah.
I'm hoping it gets better before the release. I'll still buy it. But you know, other than that, when I'm at work,
right.
I'm playing Far Cry New Dawn, which is strange.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's absolutely a good way to put it, for sure.
So much just crafting, and I don't understand anything that's happening.
So Far Cry New Dawn is kind of their way of like introducing RPG mechanics into Far Cry, and
what happened?
In some ways it work, and others it just does not.
Yeah, I mean, Far Cry 4, Far Cry 5, yes, they're very kind of like, lather, rinse, repeat for the series. They have kind of interchangeable, bad guy, instead of India or the Bahamas or wherever the fuck Far Cry 3 took place. I never bothered playing it.
That was a great story, though. Fuck, I can't believe
and
that's good.
I still fully intend on playing it at some point.
Oh yeah,
when I get a minute. But New Dawn is. I've been playing for about 6 hours. I still don't really know what's happening. I don't even really know who the bad guys are. The two women, and I don't understand what they want.
Did you play 5?
Yeah, I beat 5.
Okay, so you it's hard to say a lot of stuff when you're going to get through it. I personally thought the twins did not need to be there. Personally, did you? I don't even know how far you got, so I want to talk about it so fucking bad with you. But I don't want to spoil anything at all, because there's a lot of reasons why I say the twins technically didn't have to be in that particular game, and it's something that happens later on. But I'm glad you're enjoying it. I loved the game. I thought it was great, and a lot of people didn't.
I'm playing it and I'm enjoying it. I'm confused by a lot of it.
We can talk about this.
It's very much crafting oriented, which is new. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I just didn't expect it going into Far Cry, but also
that automatically puts me off.
The fact crafting,
I'm not a fan of crafting mechanics in games.
It's not I just don't major like it. It's hard to say it's not a major
part. Rifle, you need 700 rolls of duct tape.
Yeah, but that's all. I mean, you don't keep. Okay, so,
yeah, but you only need 700 rolls of duct tape.
Hold on a second. There's a reason I just said that. Okay, Shane and I are playing a lot of Dying Light right now. Okay, if you break your bat, you have to make a new one. So you might need 700 rolls of duct tape 8 times.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. In Far Cry, you make it once, you own it. I mean, you don't.
Right. I mean,
it doesn't go anywhere.
I guess for me, it's just
a goal. It's small, little, tiny goals all over. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying that it's not a valid mechanic.
I'm just gonna fight you right now.
No, for me, it's weird. Like a lot of modern games, and I'd say especially in the past like 5 years or so, have really leaned into like these specific tropes of like there's a crafting mechanic and there's like forced RPG elements, and it really bothers me because it just like I love RPGs, but I don't love games that like just happen to have RPG elements. Honestly, even like I'd even go as far as to say that to me that kind of marred the experience of the God of War on the PS4. I didn't love the RPG mechanics.
It felt like a chore.
Yeah, it just felt kind of unnecessary. It was just kind of there when, in the previous games or whatever, there might be some like unlockable system where you use orbs to get something or whatever. It's not even much different, but it just felt like it having like an XP system or whatever just felt shoehorned in there, just kind of stuck in just for the sake of saying like, it's a RPG.
Well,
and I'm like,
I don't think
no, it's not a fucking RPG. It's an action game.
Right, but I don't think it's not just about calling it an RPG. It's really not, because it's definitely not an RPG. There are very few ways to prolong gameplay, and that is one of the smallest and quickest way, I think, that developers use in every fucking game imaginable, which is annoying.
But that's exactly my point. Is it's like so obviously just a ploy to like add extra value or something to a game.
It's gimmicky at that point.
Yeah. The game would have been perfectly fine, if not better, without that mechanic.
Yeah.
But they know that
I beat
adding
this
that
boss,
RPG
give me
element.
a gun. right?
Yeah. Like that, they know that adding that RPG element to it or whatever will extend the play time by like a couple dozen hours.
I think I would have actually enjoyed God of War
grinding or whatever.
I think I to add to your point here, Eric, I think I actually would have enjoyed the new God of War more if they didn't have that.
Yeah, I would have, hands down. And to me, crafting mechanics, like I like crafting in fucking Minecraft because it's a game about crafting.
It even says craft in the fucking name.
But like other games that happen to have crafting mechanics, I just kind of eye roll every time I get to that.
I'm going to call them and make sure that they name the next game Far Cry Craft 6.
It's like
Far Craft 6.
Warcraft. I like
that. I would probably say the most jarring thing about Far Cry New Dawn is nothing really about the game itself. It was when the game came out. I'm playing it. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the aesthetic. It's kind of like that Technicolor kind of aesthetic to it, and
almost like Rage. It almost had the new Rage.
You are actually getting right to my point.
I had a feeling you were going there, but continue.
It's like Rage. It's like Ubisoft is observing these trends and the, other games by other studios that were coming out, and it's almost as if they looked at Rage 2 and they for some bewildering reason said, this is our direct competition, we got to make it like Rage 2.
Which is
nobody should ever fucking do that, because Rage 2 is fucking dog shit.
See, I disagree.
It is the most confusing fucking storyline.
I will agree with that.
On the face of the planet.
Okay.
And there are all these random, seemingly disconnected features that they just.
I will agree with that. Okay, I'll agree with that.
See, now I liked Rage 2 better than I liked Rage 1, but that's saying a lot because I didn't like Rage 1 at all.
It's also a guy that plays racing games. So, I mean, no.
So I got Rage 2 for $1. I got Rage 2 for $1.
Where?
At Boomoo's, it had no cade. It was 3 months after it came out. And I played it.
Perfect.
That's
exactly.
The first 45 minutes were just like this. It was just, you got whiplash because so many things were happening in the story, and it was almost kind of like a Killzone meets Gears of War, very chaotic things. And then after that, once you were able to get out of the main town that you were in and explore,
you have fucking clue.
It was a completely different game. And
where do I go? What the fuck do I do? How do I do it?
For me, the coolest thing about Rage 2 was the abilities you could get and the upgrades and the combat. Otherwise, the story didn't mean shit to me. I had no clue what was happening the entire time, like what character, like the story was just convoluted and really strange. It almost had this like forced Mad Max kind of.
It wanted to be Mad Max, and it wanted to be it wanted to be all these other games, and it failed at all of them.
It wanted to be Doom. It wanted to be Doom. It actually had these weird, odd, like Doom 2016.
It wanted to be Doom. It wanted to be Destiny. It wanted to be so many different things.
They just master of none.
There are a lot of things I like about it. But I will tell you that I do agree with you, because everything I liked about it is so minute. I mean, it doesn't make it a good game. For me, I had a great experience with it, but that was only because I don't know. I couldn't tell you why. I did like the underground.
I will agree.
The hives.
I will agree with
dope.
you, Dave. Everything that I liked about Doom, or not Doom, Rage 2. Was very minute. I liked the gameplay and I liked some of the mechanics, but other than that, like the story and like the main central elements of the game, they didn't really mean anything to me.
And the map was so fucked up. The map was it felt empty, honestly. And I think I talked to you guys about that.
You did,
It felt completely and utterly empty, because what I learned is everything fun in that game is below the ground. Everything that was worth it in that game is below the ground. You know, all those big hunts that you did.
I remember some of those.
There was one or two that were above ground around the little city right there, which was not really a city, just two buildings. but everything was just underground, and that was where the action was. That was where the suspense was. That was also where it was most like Doom.
And also, that's where I fucking got stuck on that goddamn mission.
Kelly was so fucking pissed.
Oh god!
Carrie
eventually, I got myself past it. Like I eventually came out of that slump.
Dude, he was so fucking mad. I've never seen this guy that mad. Besides when he was playing Uno with the girls.
I haven't even gotten that mad at a Dark Souls game, which is just strange.
He was so fucking pissed, and then I get in there in like 2 or 3 hits.
It's like, I think I'm learning how to trust my gut. I think more in video games as I kind of get older and play more. Because like I remember, the very first thing I did in Rage 2 was I got in my car and I drove, I don't know, some fucking place. And I get out and I go up to this giant door and I go up to it and it's like, it's locked.
Laser beams.
I look at where the key is or the mechanism to open the door, and I'm looking across the map to where it is, and I'm just like,
I'm not going over there.
I just don't care. Yeah, I'm not motivated enough to do that.
That's kind of the same reaction. I know the door you're talking
about.
Yeah.
The door you're talking about, you don't even really, you can't even get into it until the end.
I also lost my vehicle, and then I was walking around on foot for like 2 hours, and I'm just like,
that game doesn't get good until you get the hover car, the little hover bike thing, and you just go over everything.
Kind of makes me wonder how long I should have to, like, should I have to wait for a game to get good? Like,
that is the ultimate question, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of at a point right now where, like, you know, I mean, being especially like a family person, you know, with the son and stuff,
the games you play are a little bit more limited.
Oh my god!
Yeah, like I
get it. You have a son.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like,
fucking dad.
No, I have limited time to play games, so I just don't.
Every time you fucking say that, and then you platinum all these games, and it takes so fucking long to do that shit. Fuck you, kid.
I've only gotten 1 platinum in the past like 6 months. That was, I mean, granted, that was Persona 5 Royal, but still, like,
well, that's also like a 140 to 150 hour platinum.
Yeah,
every time you say that, I'm just like, what? I feel like you have way more time than you think you do in your head.
I mean, it's not that I don't have time, but it's also that I want to play a lot of games. I don't have as much time as I'd like to play them. So I just don't have patience for shit that wastes my time in games. Like I said, like shoehorned mechanics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or games that just take longer to like get to their stride than they should, or things like that. That's the whole reason I haven't even started Red Dead Redemption 2 yet, because I want to play the game. I really do. It looks
so rewarding in the end. Honestly, it's such a good game.
For a fact that I probably won't have like just like the patience to even get through the opening hours. And I've heard that it's like even the first Red Dead Redemption is probably, I mean, back when I played it back in fucking 2010 or whatever, I was perfectly fine with games that took their time like that. Nowadays, like I just want a game to get in there,
get to the fucking point.
Tell me you time for that.
Point me in the direction of who I have to go kill, and I'll fucking do it.
Exactly.
I understand
I don't even think I'd have the patience for Red Dead Redemption at this point. The first one at this point in my life. And from what I've heard, Red Dead Redemption 2 respects your time significantly less than the first one does.
I know what you need to do.
So I'm just like,
this is you have the perfect recipe to get into indie games.
Oh, I do play a lot of indie games.
They're short.
But that's
he just went on a 20-minute tirade about fucking Doki Doki Babysitters Club or whatever the hell it was called.
I have some games I have some games on my account, and there's one particular one I would like for you to play it. It takes about 4 hours.
I was gonna say, take a look. Like, you talk about how many platinums I get, like you think like I have all this time on my hands. Take a look at my trophy list. Like, yeah, there are some big long platinums on there. You know, like
right now.
Warriors of Orochi 3 was like a fucking probably 200+ hour platinum. Got it.
Just a
fucking Persona 5 Royal 150 hour platinum. Got it. But a lot of the list, a lot of my trophy list is games like Burly Men at Sea. That was a 2-hour platinum.
Yeah.
Fucking the Telltale games. There's like 6 Telltale games on my list. Those are gimme platinums. Those are just, you beat the game and you get a platinum. I have games like Tesla Grad. That's like a 3-hour platinum.
You want a fast platinum? River Bond.
Oh, okay. I haven't played that one, but all right.
Do me a favor. You and your kid play that together. You guys will love it. Your child will love that game.
Awesome.
I guarantee
I'll check it out.
It's like Minecraft meets it's like Minecraft. It's Diablo Minecraft.
Yeah, but so I mean, you factor the point that, like, you know, a lot of the platinums have fucking Typo Man. That was a cool ass game, by the way, and if anybody hasn't played Typo Man, I recommend you do, because it is really cool. But anyway, I digress. That's a short, quick platinum.
I kind of get where you're going with this, Eric, but it's kind of like the misconception that people that platinum games have a shitload of time to play games. It's more or less the games they platinum don't take long to platinum.
A lot of the time, that's not an incorrect assumption to make. Final Fantasy X.
Yes.
Well, I mean, yes, it's not an incorrect assumption to make, because look at the platinum for Persona 5. That's 150 hours, and Eric and I both did it. So,
but again, like I said, it took me like 4 or 5 months to do that.
Yeah.
But also, the point is, like, I have I have 75. I have 79 platinums now. Persona 5 Royal was my 79th. I've been a trophy hunter since 2010. Like, that is, if you break that down, that's like, you know, less than 10 platinums a year. That's not that much. That's not that much when you really factor in how efficient I am.
My average.
Games, like, you know, I'm sorry for attacking. I'm just
saying, like, other trophy hunters. Any other trophy hunters? My average
is like 2 to 3 a year, because I'm not a super huge trophy hunter. I only really platinum the games that I feel it worthy to do.
And for the record,
my average is 2 to 3 a year.
For the record, I didn't know you guys were using anything online to help you kind of push through the platinums. I didn't know that existed. And granted, so that makes things way quicker. I was going by like, I'm going to do this one, and it's going to take me 6 weeks.
That's the thing. Like, I get a game. The first thing I do is I look up a trophy roadmap. I don't actually like read it at first. The first thing I do is just look, is there missable trophies?
That's intriguing to me, because
is there anything I can miss if I just go in blind? If there are no missable trophies, I beat the game without looking at a trophy guide. I just go through, play the game, enjoy it, and then after I beat it, I worry
That's
about
a whole different way to play a game that I didn't even think of that. I'm not a trophy hunter, so it doesn't make sense for me too. But it's very interesting.
Now, I only became a trophy hunter after I got a PlayStation 4. I never had a PlayStation 3, so I never had the opportunity to be a trophy hunter. I just got into it when I got a PlayStation 4, and I was like, oh, I just realized that platinuming games is a thing you can do. I am a completionist anyways. I beat all of the Mass Effect games, like, all the way through on Xbox, got all of the achievements for them. So I've always kind of been like that, but I didn't have a PlayStation to do it.
Let's go over here real quick to the comments real fast. Let's see. Anybody played the Mad Max game? What Tyler said. I personally loved it. Always loved the Falcon. Let's see. Go ahead.
I got it for free on PlayStation Plus a few years ago. I've been meaning to try it out eventually, but it's just so deep in my backlog that's like, there are 50 other games that I'm going to play before I get around to it.
And this one,
though, there are going to be 50 more that come out since then, so I'll probably never play it. But
this one goes to something Tony said. Fuck no, games shouldn't launch broken and then financially drain you till it gets good. Big issue in industry. I mean, that makes sense. They're still going to do it. They're still going to do it.
I got all the way through Destiny 2 and its expansion. That game never got good. But my main problem with, like, it's not even like my main problem, as it was my main frustration with Far Cry New Dawn. It was something that's very easily fixable in like an hour, is like the fact that they've added things into the perk menu, like the ability to use my binoculars. Like, why should I have to spend 4 perk points to use my fucking binoculars?
That sounds
that goes right into my gripes about, like,
I was actually kind of mad when I saw that perk. I was like, well, I could have just done this in Far Cry 5, no problem.
These should be hang gliding, stuff like that. Those should be things you find on your missions. It shouldn't be something that you just, I could just go over there and kill a couple fucking boars and probably get perk points for it.
Like, obviously the first thing that everyone in Far Cry is going to get, like, is the hang glider. Like, why not just make that something you get after on the second mission? Everyone wants it. Like, you use it all the time. Like you really have to use it like pretty much throughout the entire game.
And same with the ability to parachute. You parachute so often in Far Cry. In Far Cry New Dawn, the ability to do that, like having that be a perk point, is just ridiculous.
Yeah, like the fact that they put them into 2 different perks. Yeah. Like, like, oh, okay, now I get hang gliding, and then I got to spend more on parachuting. Like, no thanks. But it's kind of, I kind of liken it to like Eric said, like just arbitrarily and randomly kind of doing things like that to extend the gameplay.
And that's exactly what Far Cry New Dawn did. They did that to
Breakpoint is doing the same thing. You get binoculars, and then you get the night vision, and then a whole separate one, thermal vision, and then everything's just separate. Everything's separate perk points. So I never really thought about it until we're really kind of sitting here thinking about it. It is shitty. Yeah, it is kind of shitty.
And it's like, until you even get those, like you can't do anything. Yeah. So like you have to get them, and and it kind of spills over, and this is kind of like the last I'm going to talk about it. Is that it kind of spills over into why I actually haven't played more Horizon Zero Dawn. It's because Horizon Zero Dawn is guilty of doing something that I, frankly, am kind of like disgusted to see in series, which is just adding skill trees. Like, oh, congratulations! I get to spend my hard-earned experience points on the ability to take down enemies while hanging on a ledge. Once you've been hanging off it for like 20 seconds, I'm like, who does that?
Oh my god! Some of the most weirdly specific.
Yeah, it's. I will actually add to that, Tony, and actually being in the process of platinuming it right now, because that's something that I'm working towards, and I'm like almost 80% of the way there. I'm playing it on the second hardest difficulty right now, but adding to that, you're absolutely right. Like the skill trees in that game, now having maxed all of them out because I'm on New Game Plus and I'm max level now, but having taken the time to do that, like they're oddly specific, and I barely use half of them.
Yeah. It's just like, oh man, I don't think I've ever said to myself, I can't wait to unlock the skill of being able to shoot a fire arrow while balancing on a rope.
Yeah.
Like, first off, I've never seen a rope. So
yeah. No, it's out there. Honestly, that's like, and I know a couple of you have strong feelings towards this, but that's honestly the reason I kind of like fell off of the Assassin's Creed franchise, is because of the fact that they started just like overcomplicating it with RPG elements and stuff. Like, honestly, like I was interested in Odyssey. Odyssey looks like a really good game. Like I see the allure. I see why you guys loved it so much. But I remember when it first came out and I was watching Dave's streams and I was watching Kelly's streams, and I kept seeing one thing in particular, which was like they would stumble into an area where an enemy would be like too high of a level for them to like handle at the time or whatever. And they like wouldn't be able to deal with that situation until they went and leveled up and came back to it or whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck?
That's kind of a typical RPG thing, though, at the same time, though.
But that's the thing, is to me, Assassin's Creed is not an RPG. It never was. I mean, it is now, I guess. But like when I think Assassin's Creed, I think of like the original games where like even the hard enemies, like the Templars or whatever, with a well-placed like jump strike or just, good countering abilities, whatever. Mm-hmm. It didn't matter what level you were at because there weren't levels. You just did it. You just fought the hard enemy and beat him, and that was it. Or you didn't beat him because you sucked at the game and then you got better at the game on your own accord. It wasn't like some arbitrary number affixed to the top of the enemy like, oh, you can't beat this enemy because there's a fucking 72 above their name. Like,
granted,
you can't beat them because you suck at the game. Get better.
I do think Far Cry New Dawn's skill tree and their system for all of that stuff is a little bit more taxing than Odyssey's. I think the forcing of RPG elements on Far Cry New Dawn is a little bit more. It gets more in the way of the game than it does for Assassin's Creed. So I think it fits the gameplay style of Assassin's Creed a lot better than it does Far Cry.
I will say this about Far Cry New Dawn is that the mere fact that I'm looking at the perk menu doesn't fill me with an immense sense of anxiety, because I opened the perk tree for Assassin's Creed Origins on Odyssey, and it is so huge. I'm just like, I don't know what any of these do, and I honestly don't care anymore. Right. So I'm gonna just take one path, and that's it. I don't care about the combat path, because
I do that
by the time I get to the top of it, I'm just like, I will have had to have played for 120 hours. So honestly, the Far Cry New Dawn perk menu is nice and square. It's compact, and there's probably 20 things. In Assassin's Creed Origin, there's 200, and I'm like, I don't. I immediately lost interest. Yeah.
I do not want Assassin's Creed to be more like Dark Souls and Sekiro at all.
No.
Guys,
I don't think it'll ever take that route, to be honest.
No. Good.
I'm gonna go eat dinner.
Yeah, Tony's telling us it's time to go. We've been here for about an hour and 10 minutes, guys. We really appreciate you guys chilling out. We can continue any of these conversations in the Discord.
Hey, if you're not part of that, the link's in the description.
Go check it out.
It is.
Yeah.
It's right up there. It's right up there. All you gotta do is
it's actually down.
Or somewhere.
Wherever the fuck it is.
It's over here.
If you don't join the Discord, fuck you.
Yeah.
Wow, what he said. We have memes. There's NSFW stuff in there if that applies to you.
That's right. If you don't go into the Discord, we're going to stick Cheska and Christine on you. And that, my friend, could be terrifying.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you later. Take care. And we love all of you. And bye.
Toodles.